Yo, what's up YouTube? So yeah, today I'm going to bring you a high round strategy guide on the map Citadelle demo. So to get straight into it, this is the loadout I'd recommend that you use. I'd recommend spawning in with the Sigma rocket launcher, that way you don't have to try and get out of the box. And then also Frenzy Guard is going to help you out a lot during the early round strategy. However, we're not going to be using it after that, so I'd recommend starting off with Frenzy Guard and then switching to Ether Shroud. For the augments, there are going to be a few necessary ones, first of which is going to be hardened plates on Juggernog. This is going to help you survive when you're doing the Sigma strategy. The next one is going to be a brand new augment on Vulturade, and it's one of the best augments in the game, called Picky Eater. And then finally on Frenzy Guard, when you're doing the early round strat, you're going to want Frenzy Fire and Extension. Now the weapons you're going to want for this strategy are obviously going to be the Sigma that you spawned in with, and you can get the GS45 pistols off the wall in spawn. You can of course wait until a later round when the wall buy turns legendary to save you 9,000 salvage, but honestly on this map I wouldn't be too concerned about it. Salvage isn't really that much of a problem with the Sigma strat. And lastly, there is one door that needs to be kept closed for this, and it's this door at the back of the Pack-a-Punch room next to the Gobblegum machine. So if you're making your way at the Pack-a-Punch machine, make sure to go in through the Vulturade side, not the Stamina Up side. Alright, so now we're going to be moving on to the early round strategy. This is going to take place inside the Pack-a-Punch room and the Quick Revive room. The Pack-a-Punch room has the fastest spawns of the two, so if you have the option, make sure that you do the rounds in here. And as you just seen, or as you're watching right now, all we're going to be doing here is taking advantage of the point of power traps. This is basically like Ring of Fire from Cold War in a sense where you have infinite ammo. It slows down all the zombies as well that enter the ring that spawns from this trap. So you're just going to be killing all the zombies with Mustang and Sally. With that in mind, make sure that you upgrade Mustang and Sally first before the Sigma, because the Sigma is going to be used for the high round strat. You don't need to upgrade it straight away, so just put all your investment into Mustang and Sally and that'll help you get through the early rounds. As you just seen, round 31 already completed. We're moving on to the next round. So whilst that trap's recharging inside the Pack-a-Punch room, we're going to go over to the Quick Revive side. We're going to use the trap in here, and these rounds are going to go very fast too. Throughout the duration of these two traps, you should be able to fully charge up your Frenzy Guard, and this is what we're going to be using to get through the next round, because the trap inside the Pack-a-Punch room is still going to be on cooldown, so we need something to fill in the gap. So to fill in that gap, we're going to use Frenzy Guard. We're going to kill all the zombies with Mustang and Sally, or if you're lucky enough, the augment on Vulturade that we equipped called Picky Eater is going to make it so whatever equipment you have equipped, so the Casimir grenades and the Molotovs right now, the zombies have a higher chance of dropping them items on the ground. So there's a good chance you're going to have a lot of Casimirs on the ground. This is a good opportunity to throw them. If not, just copy what you're seeing right now, pop Frenzy Guard, kill all the zombies of Mustang and Sally. You shouldn't have to worry about going down here, because as long as you have Frenzy Guard active, you're pretty much in God mode as long as you kill fast enough. If you wonder why I didn't pick up that insta-kill, you're not always going to have an insta-kill in this third round, so I want to showcase the strategy without it. And that's pretty much another round done. So that trap inside the Pack-a-Punch room is now going to be fully recharged, so you can just keep repeating this cycle until you're fully upgraded the Sigma, and then we're ready for the high round strat. So moving on to the high round strat now, there are going to be a couple variations of this Sigma strat that I'm going to show you. The first is going to be the fastest one. I recommend doing this all the way until the point where these two traps end the round. Once they don't end the round, I'd recommend switching to the next strategy, which is going to be a 5 trap strategy that I'm going to show you. So for this strategy, as you're seeing right now, all you're doing is activating the Ring of Fire trap and spraying the ground with the Sigma. I actually made a mistake at this point in the game. I didn't realise you could actually hold down the trigger on the Sigma and it fires a lot faster. I'm just tap firing right now. You don't want to do that. You can fire this like 2, maybe 3 times as fast if you just hold down the trigger. And then right when the trap ends, I noticed this by just staring at my ammo count. As soon as the ammo count starts going down, I know the trap's ended. Pop an Ether Shroud and then come over to this trap. This should be able to get you through entire rounds in the early 100s, and you'll build up a lot of salvage doing this. If your goal is just getting around 100, then I'd recommend doing this until you have about 40,000 salvage, and then moving on to the Mangler strategy that I'm going to show a little bit later in the video. The next thing I'm going to show you is the 5 trap strategy. It's not 5 Ring of Fire traps, it's just 3 of them and 2 oil traps in between just to speed it up that little bit extra. So it doesn't matter which one of the 3 Ring of Fire traps you start off at. I'm starting off with the Deadshot one right now, but you can start off with any of the other 2, and basically the premise of this strategy is just that whenever you use all 3 Ring of Fire traps, they're all going to be recharged again, so you can just keep looping this over and over. So this is an ideal very high round strategy that could potentially take you around 999. So I've just hit the oil trap there and threw a Molotov in it. This will help kill the zombies a little bit faster. And now I'm inside the courtyard ring of fire trap. Another tip that I can give you when you're spamming the RPG inside these traps is make sure to always keep putting on armor plates when you're getting low. It only takes a second to do, and as long as you have armor you shouldn't really go down, or at least you'll have a lot of time to react when you're about to go down. That way you can just pop Ether Shroud and save your life. Just in case too, I would recommend holding on to a mutant injection if for whatever reason you don't have an Ether Shroud charged up. That way you have a second option to save your life. Also, whenever you pop Ether Shroud to leave the trap, make sure to pick up the salvage, as that's the main reason why we're actually doing this strategy, because we want to build up so much salvage to the point where we can just do the Mangler strat that I'm going to show you next. And now we're on to the 5th and final trap inside the village ascent. Of course, if this doesn't end the round, you can just loop back around to the Deadshot trap and keep doing this loop over and over. All the traps will be recharged by the time you get there, the oil trap included. Another thing too, this strategy is a little bit slower than the one I showed previously, but it is a lot safer. So if you're someone who's really trying to guarantee that round 100 or whatever the round goal is, it might be worth doing this strategy instead. That way you increase your chances of survival and it's only going to take a little bit longer. And finally, I'm going to be showing you the last part of the high round strategy, which is going to be the Mangler strat. This is going to take place inside the spawn next to the crafting bench. There is a little bit of a strat to this in order to do it as efficiently as possible. I like to do 2 melees and then fire a cannon up the stairs, and then 2 melees and fire a cannon at the doorway. And I just like to repeat this process. I do 2 melees just to let the zombies build up again. Also, you can just stand here and just melee if you just want to do it the lazy way. However, the zombies really do get stuck on that staircase, especially because the parasites like to build up there too. So if you're going to do anything, I would say at least shoot the staircase with the cannon every so often just to stop them all from piling up. If you have the Picky Eater augment equipped on Vulture Raid, there's a pretty good chance that there's going to be 1 or 2 Casimirs on the ground for you to pick up. So as soon as you leave the mutant, you could throw a Casimir grenade and then focus the doppelgangers to try and get a free kill streak from them. The mutant injector seems to be the only good kill streak on this map. I did try the RCXD on the table inside this room, but unfortunately you can't get on top of the table. There's like an invisible barrier blocking it. And I am going to skip this mutant injection just to point out the fact that if you are near the end of the round, instead of wasting a brand new mutant injection and then letting half of it go to waste, if you have a lot of Casimir grenades on the floor, try and end the round with Casimirs, but if not, just go to the Ring of Fire trap and end the round this way. That way you're not wasting 2,500 on a mutant injector and then letting half of it go to waste. And one more thing I'm going to quickly cover before I end the video, and it's going to be the Vermin rounds. There's going to be 2 fast locations that you can do these in. The first of which is in the crafting bench room where we were just doing the Mangler strategy. The next one is in the Pack-a-Punch room, so whichever room you're closest to is the one I'd recommend doing the Vermin rounds in. And that's going to be it from me, so if this video helped you out, be sure to leave a like. If you're new, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.